Um, Welcome to my cathedral garden. Sorry, I am very much out of practice with YouTube videos. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kristen, and I am a former elementary teacher who turned homeschooler to homeschooling mom to our four kids. And this year I have a sixth grader, a fourth grader, a second grader, and a kindergartner. And it looks a little bit different. If I can get in to this live to be able to add cards later, I will link the last video that I did at the beginning of the semester that tells you what our plans were for school this year, because it was not full-time homeschool for the first time in 3.5 years. It was a university model school. So the kids went to school part-time and I taught there part-time, and then we also homeschooled part-time with the work that the school sent home with us. So that's kind of the gist of what we have been doing this last semester. Definitely was approached with a lot of prayer and all of that good stuff, but it's been busy, busier than I expected it to be. I really thought that I would be able to keep up with somewhat of a YouTube schedule, and that turned out to not be the case. And there's a couple of reasons for that that I will go over and explain here in just a second. But just wanted to kind of, if you didn't know, give you an update on what we were doing this semester, and for this school year we will continue, and how that's going and what it looks like and all of that jazz. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So like I said, my kids and I have all been basically going to this university model school. It is similar to what we did in the previous town we lived in before we moved here to the town we're in now 3.5 years ago. And so we knew we liked the model, and we were just kind of waiting on my youngest to be able to be kindergarten age to go with us. I say all this in the video that I'll hopefully be able to link up here shortly, but if not, it just is the one. I believe I filmed that in July or August, and it's probably the last video I filmed, and now it's the end of December, but that's okay. But so kind of a quick update. My kids love it. They have enjoyed their teachers. They really all have such wonderful teachers. And honestly, I've been talking off and on, obviously, with my husband and with them throughout the year. But one of the things my husband said to me whenever I was just talking about how much they enjoy it and how just kind of a weight lifted that I feel as a mom and as a homeschool mom is that they have other teachers that love them. And like I said, when we previously did a school like this before and they went to kindergarten, I was not one of the moms crying. I was so excited for them. I couldn't wait. And he said to me, well, yes, but that's what you know, because both my parents were teachers and my grandparents and stuff like that. And he was like, that's actually what's comfortable to you. Homeschooling wasn't, and this is. And so no wonder that's just a comfort feeling. And I was like, you know what, that's probably a little bit true. So long story short for them, and I could give you little details and anecdotes, but I won't bore you to tears completely. They are enjoying it, and they are doing really well. A lot better than I thought for some of them. I knew that my oldest, he's in sixth grade, I knew that he would enjoy just the school aspect. He is a get it done kind of kid. So he was always like, Mom, just tell me what I need to do to be done so I can go do what I want to do. He is not really one to like sit and enjoy the learning process kind of deal, which kind of to me as a homeschool mom felt like I was doing it wrong at times, that he didn't like that. But that's just his personality, and that's just what he likes. He's very bright, and so that type of attitude is actually something that school fosters really well. Like, he does a great job at staying on top of his studies, making sure he's got everything he needs. I really don't have to keep a whole lot of tabs on him, which is really nice. Like, he turns his stuff in. It's been great for him, and so he's really been thriving in that environment of taking control of his own stuff. And having to do it for someone else, I think really, really helps. Mom's not the one saying to do this, it's actually your other teachers. So that's not to say that it hasn't been hard for him or we haven't shed some tears or he's not griped or complained or whatever, like all kids do. He's not perfect. But he's done really well. My fourth grader was honestly the one I was the most concerned with going back into a school setting, just because I think I've said before he has some reading issues. We're not really sure what they are, and we did have him tested for dyslexia at the end of second grade, and they said he wasn't dyslexic, but there were some discrepancies. So there's something going on. They're just not sure what. So I was honestly really, really nervous going in because, once again, the weight that you feel as a homeschool mom of being the sole educator of all these kids and making sure it's done well and right. And, if they're not doing well, if they're not on track, then that's not on them, that's on you, right? And so he definitely was the one that I was most concerned about, and concerned about how I would look as a former teacher and then as a homeschool mom to this teacher, whoever he got. So once again, the teacher did see what I had been seeing and kind of confirmed that. She was like, yeah, it's strange, whatever this is, because there's some things that you would think he would have trouble doing that he doesn't have any problems with. And then there's some things that you're like, oh, that should not be an issue, and it is one. So it's just been interesting trying to figure that out for him and in the classroom and stuff like that. But luckily he has a wonderful teacher that I actually teach across the hall from some of the days. And so we've got to know each other really, really well, and she loves him. And so that's all I could ask for, is just someone that cares for my boy, that is open to listening to me as a mom say, well, I don't know if that'll work, or what can we do? How can we maybe accommodate him? Because technically he doesn't have an IEP, an individualized education plan, something that says you have to do this for him. And so she has been really, really wonderful about allowing us to do certain things like text to speech on final drafts of stuff. So where he's written a rough draft, we've gone back, we corrected it together, but writing stuff down for him is really pretty difficult. He's got it all up here and he can get it, and it's just getting it out, but then getting it out completely correctly is very tough. And if you've already done all the hard work to get it out, you've already done all the hard work to correct it. She's allowed us to do like text to speech and stuff to get that final draft, which is still work. We still have to, he has to say each thing he's written sentence by sentence. And then we have to go back through together and make sure that it actually understood his little Texas accent, that if the periods and the commas and all that stuff are in the right place. So it's definitely not a cop out by any means, but it does make it a lot faster than him having to type it individually or rewrite it again. So I've been very thankful. My second grader, who is just she is the one that taught herself to read, just very, very bright and loves to learn, has gotten the sweetest teacher this year. She's precious and she's done really well. One of the things in a parent teacher conference that her teacher said was, you did a really good job with homeschool. And as a homeschool mom, for someone else to say that about your kid that's coming in, I was like, okay, good. It was so concerning. And then we have my kindergartner, who obviously it's her first year in school. We've done a Mother's Day Out program for a few years with her, and that's been great. And so she's doing really well. I was a little worried about her as well, just because her birthday is at the end of July, next to last day of July. And so I was a little nervous sending her into kindergarten so young, but it was either she goes or we all wait one more year. And we can always adjust, and if she needs to be held back, or whatever, that's definitely on the table. But she has done really, really well so far. Her teacher has told me, if I didn't know, if you hadn't told me that she was as young as she is, I wouldn't have guessed it. And that might just be because she has 4 older siblings, and I think that probably is a lot of it, or what. But she is so far doing really well. I am a late summer baby. My birthday's at the end of June. And I did fine in school. Looking back now as I'm reteaching my own, if I it to him, to my then fourth grader at the time, I was